Yeah, well, thanks for the opportunity. I think congratulations to our team. We played well. However, I think mentality of our players. We started very well. The plan was to score as early as possible. I think we scored in the first 5 minutes of the game. And obviously, when you're playing with these talented players, when you have these talented players, they can read movement, they can read things as soon as possible. And the reason why I'm talking about mentality is if we really want to go further and we want to prepare for AFCON and all of that, we need to change our mentality in approaching the game. If the game is out there to be killed, let's kill it immediately. Because now we started changing the gears, our tactical endurance then went through the window because the plan was that let's win the game, let's win it convincingly. Now we were dilly-dallying and we were not more aggressive, we were no longer showing hunger, we were no longer saying this is just the beginning, we want to go further. That is why we saw now we're starting to play around, missing chances and all of that. But it's the mentality which we are going to work on. And I don't want to see a deja vu where we were playing well in the previous COSAFA and we were knocked off. In this case, we need to go through and through. And it can only happen through the mentality. If we can change our mentality, this game could have been big, a huge score, but we played with chances. But these are kids, again, we need to understand that. And with time, we give it to the next game and see to the group stage. And just make sure that we keep consistency and not even concede goals, because if we want to go somewhere, we say let's shut the back door and then maybe miss those chances, but we're not supposed to concede the goals. That's our target also.
Coach, maybe being the host and winning your first game with the margin that you won with 4 goals and not conceding anything, is that putting added pressure to you and your boys, and how are you planning to counter that?
Look, for each and every game, whether it's away or home game, it's a game on its own, it's a pressure. You're always under duress, not necessarily that you're going to be fired or something, but the game itself, it says it's a pressure, and after winning the game you get relieved and you feel better and plan ahead and say how do we go forward. Yes, we are the host and we need to showcase that we are the host and we need to play good football, but it must give good results as well. So it can't just be good dominance, but we don't punish opponents when they are out there to be punished. I think in today's game we're supposed to score more than the 4 that we scored. But it's one thing that we'll go back and look at it with our analysts and the technical team, go through it and try to work out a plan to say complacency. It's too early, it's just the first game. We really need to, we're playing Comoros, we're playing Mauritius. These are the games that we say, whatever that we want to do, let's do it here so that when we get to our semi-finals and so forth, we know that we are ready to go there.
Thanks, Coach. Colleagues, you've got the floor.
Coach, in the past you've spoken about the 3 tactical systems that you approached a game with. Which one did you go with today? What was the reason behind it, and how do you think you implemented it?
Look, the fact that we don't know our opponents and we did not know them, so we said let's play the one that we are so fluent with it, 4-2-3-1, wherein we are, it's a game of numbers. With my experience knowing playing how to play in COSAFA, if you don't have numbers behind, you always concede one and then the game is wrapped up and then you dominate possession and all of that. So we then said, with this one, let's go 4-2-3-1, but second half then we changed to 4-4-3-3, a little bit of 4-3-3, just so that we get used to other systems when we are ahead, because we have realized and noticed that from the 4-2-3-1, okay, we are 2 goals ahead now, because we have been training. This is how South Africans want to play, and we're playing 4-2-3-1, we want to play 3-4-3, and we want to play 5-2-5-3-4, 5-3-1. So those are the systems that we do have, but we played the 2 today, which I'm happy with them.
Coach, in the application, we noted that your fullbacks gave you width and they went a lot forward, while Stevens and Umlondo tucked in a bit. What was the objective of them, and what did you want from Stevens or Umlondo when they tuck in?
Look, with teams that are sitting there, we then say our 10s needs to come deeper so that we create the space behind the defense so that our fullbacks can utilize and exploit the space. So it was more of that, to say we know that we're going to keep possession, we know that we're going to play with a team that will have the reinforced defense. So how do we unlock them? It's when you see our 10s dropping deeper and allowing our fullbacks to go higher. In that way, then that is how we managed to unlock Botswana.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
You have a very good attack, but I would like to know, keeping a clean sheet is always a positive sign. How satisfied are you with your team's defensive organization?
On the day, to be honest with you, if we were playing a good team, we really played well because we did not concede. But on the day, if we were playing a very good team, there were glimpses of small mistakes that our boys were making, and they will even recover after making those mistakes. But if we were going to play better teams, better organized teams, we'll get punished. But those are the things that I'm saying. When we go back now, we're going to correct them and show our kids to say, if you are doing it this way, this is not how you're supposed to do it. This is how you're supposed to be doing it. Just to correct it and try by all means to minimize the mistakes from the back.
And one thing that for me was very interesting in the beginning of your speech is that you talked about the mentality, and you mentioned AFCON. Your objective in this competition, is it to keep the cup in South Africa, or you were thinking about something else?
Look, cup is something else, but we want to go to AFCON. It's being long overdue. We want to go to AFCON. It's the second step that we are intending to get to. And the cup will be a cherry on top. I think it's something that we'll be working towards, but the most important thing is to qualify.
Which means South Africa is a serious candidate.
We believe that we are the candidates. We are the strong candidates for this.
Coach, congratulations on the win, first of all. Obviously, Emil is a star player in the team. He got fouled and created the penalty and scored the second goal himself. Has there been any noticeable difference since he spent the last month in England?
Without really singling out any player, I think all of them, they're gifted in their own rights, in their different positions. And as to who's creating and who's giving the assist and all of that, it is how we want to play. And without really saying much about Emile, he's one of those players gifted, a special player, but most of them, they are very special in their different positions. So the assist and creating the goal and scoring goes well with the team. This is a team tactic. This is how we want to pin out. This is where we want to win games. So it's all about the plan around him also.
Okay. And then obviously the under-17s at the last AFCON, they only made it to the round of 16, got beaten by Senegal. We're still in the early stages of its qualification, but how far do you think, with the right mentality as you alluded to, how far do you think this group can go?
Like I said, the first thing first, baby step. We now at COSAFA, let's concentrate more on this one. We want to qualify. And when we get to AFCON, we really don't want to remain in AFCON, we want to go to the World Cup. Those are the objectives. However, let's start with this one first. Let's start wrapping up this one, concentrate more on this one, work out whatever that we want to work out on this one, just so that we are ready for AFCON. Because we will be talking AFCON when we are at COSAFA. I think we need really to balance those two. Let's start first with this one and not get carried away because we beat Botswana and now we're talking AFCON. So let's give others time and space to say we are at COSAFA. Let's win the COSAFA first, and then the AFCON will be the next play.
Coach, you made the substitutions, and one of those substitutions was Umalinga, but he went to right back. We thought he was going to go up front where he usually plays. He went to right back, but later on changed when you brought in Royce to go right back. How important is it in this tournament to have players who can play in multiple positions and be able to give you what you need in those positions?
Very key. Even when we profile them, when we do our selections, we don't just go for a player who can just give us one dimension or one position. We need versatility, where we need to get a player who can play 2 or 3 positions. Spot on that, because Malenga will give you a striker, he will give you a number, a winger, and he will give you a right back. So these are the players that we have. Much as we have the 20, but in the 20 you can have 20s that can play 3 positions, 2 positions. I think that is the plan when we were profiling and selecting them.
Coach, in the friendlies against Lesotho, you spoke about mentality. I think I remember in one of the games, once the boys started to lead, they relaxed. Same thing that we've witnessed here today. Is it becoming a serious concern for you now, because it's now happening for the second time?
Not exactly, because you look at the contributing factors as well. The heat, are the opponents really testing us to the limit, or are we actually testing ourselves to say we need much more from ourselves? We scored 2, but we still need to get more from ourselves. So those are the conditions that one finds themselves in. It cannot just be the players maybe not really executing the tactical plan, but it also the contributing factor, the heat, and the mentality, like I indicated, to say, this is what we wanted, we are able to score 2, now we can relax. Those are the things that we are going to work on.
The last one from you, Coach. In your squad, you have Makasha, you have Malinga, you have Aphelele. 2010s played in under 15 COSAFA schools. They now in the under 15. Obviously, given the talent we have in this country, we could have selected any other 16-year-olds to come and be part of the squad, but you targeted those 2010. Is it part of the preparing the next cycle of under 17s?
No, you're quite right. They played well at under 15 in a school tournament, and you take that experience, you reward them by giving them this. I think they are not here by fluke. It's because they've worked very hard to be in here. So, like I indicated to you, it's all about profiling players and how we want to blend them into the under 17. They will also be playing for the next intake, but who knows what? Maybe they'll even be going to under 20 in the future.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
No, thanks, colleagues. Coach.